What I want to see is male contraception. Let's empower men. The morning after pill. 30 pounds in this economy? The morning after pill is going to be free in England later in 2025. This is amazing news, right? Hi guys, I'm Dr. Rumbi. I am a resident doctor in general practice and former midwife. I love the fact that the morning after pill is going to be free in England finally. And this is from pharmacies. A lot of you might say, well, I thought contraception was free. Contraception is free on prescription with a GP in England. England has different rules. So does Wales, so does Scotland, so does Northern Ireland. Speaking specifically for England, contraception is free via prescription from your GP. However, emergency contraception, which is what the morning after pill is, if you get it from your GP as a prescription, that is free. If you get it from a sexual health clinic, again, free. However, if you get it from a pharmacy, which, let's be honest, is the most convenient thing because one, you don't have to phone at 8 a.m. and queue for an appointment, and you don't have to have like that awkward trying to get a consultation, and the receptionist, rightly so, is like, what do you need a consultation for? And you're like, the morning after pill. All these things that just make it, they act as barriers, actually. They act as slight barriers to accessing something that people need. Whereas the pharmacy, you walk in, go to the counter, they get you the pharmacist, have a small consultation, bish, bash, bosh, you're sorted. But pharmacies can charge for the morning after pill, and it can be up to £30. £30 in this economy is a lot of money. So I think the fact that we're moving to a free morning after pill, even in pharmacies across England, is so important because sometimes the people that need these things the most, money is a barrier to accessing them. So they're the ones that are actually blocked out of being able to access the morning after pill because of the cost. Like I said, £30 in this economy, it's not a small feat. But what's important to remember, and now that I've got your attention, is the morning after pill does not always work. It is one form of emergency contraception, but there are limitations to it. And I'm sure you've heard of stories, maybe on social media or people that had the morning after pill and still, when they did a pregnancy test, they saw 2 lines. So here are some of the reasons why the morning after pill might not work. The first being you've already ovulated. The morning after pill works by delaying ovulation. And by ovulation, I mean the release of the egg. And the egg is what the sperm fertilizes. When the egg and the sperm meet and there's fertilization, then you start to get an embryo. Another reason why the morning after pill might not work is because you're already pregnant. You might have missed the boat. You might already be pregnant, especially if there were other episodes within your cycle where you had oopsie, we call it oopsie, unprotected intercourse, oopsie. So you might already be pregnant. And another thing to consider is if you're overweight, I know, and their mark of being overweight is actually not that big. It's like 76 kilos. So if you're overweight, you might need an adjusted dose. If you feel that you might be overweight, you say, I weigh X amount. Is this dose the right dose for me? Or is this the most effective morning after pill for me at this dose? Other things which might impact, and the person who's providing you the morning after pill will ask some of these questions about your past medical history, medications you might be taking, because some medications may interact with hormonal medications. Overall, I think this is a fantastic change. But to be honest, guys, what I want to see is male contraception. Let's empower men to take control of their fertility, because there is actually a shocking lack of reversible, long-acting contraceptive options for men. So please, where's the research to move that forward? Where's the contraception for men? So I think that's really the next wave that could change the game when it comes to contraception. Whether or not, we can have a whole different discussion about whether or not guys will utilize hormonal contraception for men, or whether or not their partners will take that as reliable contraception or would still put their own contraception in place. That's a by the by, and that's a whole different conversation. We can have that chat in the comments. But I think having that option is really important. But I'm glad. I'm glad to see this change. I'm glad to see that a barrier has been broken down for individuals who actually might really need that morning after pill the most, not being able to get it because they can't get an appointment at the GP for whatever reason to then access it for free, or can't get an appointment at a sexual health clinic, again, for whatever reason, again, to be able to access it for free. So I think it's a really, really positive change. Let me know what you think in the comments.